Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary of Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're continuing our series of training videos for 2025, and we're going to be featuring game action from Week 12. Now, before we get into our plays, I'd like to share some statistics from our instant replay process. In FBS, we're averaging 2 stops per game and 0.97 overturns per game. So that's right at 1 overturn a game. Our average stop time, and that's measured from the replay announcement until we blow the ready for play after the review, is 2 minutes. So 2 stops per game, 2 minutes per stop. Replay costs us 4 minutes per game, but that's a worthy investment. But let's all work to stay efficient in that process. We'd love to go under 2 minutes per stop, and let's really work on that from now to the end of the season. And let's have great communications between replay and our on-field officials, and that starts in the pregame. And remember, on the field, you cannot abdicate your call to replay, but it's great to know they've got your back. So with that, let's get on into our video. Our first play is an end-of-game scenario. The offense has third down at the -40. They're down by 3 points, 11 seconds remaining in the game, no timeouts for the offense. Now, the quarterback throws downfield, it's caught, and the receiver is down at the +30 with a first down. The clock stops with 4 seconds remaining, and the offense is going to rush the field goal unit out. Now, we know by rule this is the one situation where we don't go into substitution mechanics. When the offense immediately hurries its field goal unit out in a last-second situation, by interpretation, the defense should have its field goal unit ready, and the umpire will not stand over the ball. The referee will not go into substitution mechanics, as there should be no question for the defense being uncertain of the next play. We see the kicking team, they operate efficiently. We start the clock, the snap is off, the field goal is good as time expires, and we get to go to extra periods. This is well done by the entire crew. Play 2 is really just a rules reminder, especially as we head into late November and December. Ball warming and ball drying substances or mechanical devices that dry or warm footballs are not allowed. In game, this may be very difficult for us to see or discern, but be alert to this and make sure we cover it with our ball personnel in pregame meetings, especially if the elements warrant this. And if we do recognize an issue in game, just have the process stopped or throw the balls out that are affected. Remember, by rule, we'll check in up to 10 footballs for each team unless conditions warrant additional balls to be approved. And when we mark balls, make sure your crew has a process to ensure that the balls being presented are a part of what we approved in the pregame. Play 3, we have the opening kickoff. The ball is ruled not to have touched either receiver here, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. And then we're going to see the 40-second clock starts after a slight delay, about 4 or 5 seconds. But then we look at the offense on the sideline. They're watering up everyone. They're all getting together, getting their last set of instructions. And then finally, they're going to wander out on the field. And then we've got to let the defense match up. The quarterback is ultimately going to ask for the play clock to be reset when it gets down to about 7 seconds. And then we oblige them. We put it back up to 25. And then the offense begins to read the defense. They're going to move players around. And then they're going to snap it right at 10 seconds on the play clock at this point. Now, I don't know if there was another issue here that dictated the reset of the play clock, but the 40-second play clock was instituted after the kickoff to keep the game moving. The old 25-second clock that was started by the referee, it really just drug out, delaying the game and impacting game flow. And so now the 40-second clock is to get the offense moving. So let's communicate and get the teams out quicker here. If the ball's not down and ready when the clock goes below 25 seconds, then we should reset it, but not just because the offense needs some extra time. Play 4, it's 1st and 10. The quarterback hands to the back. He finds some running room up the middle. He's hit, he drives for more yardage, and the play ultimately makes 7 yards. Now, many conferences have medical observers, and some conferences actually have neutral medical observers that sit in the back of the replay booth and can stop the game immediately if they suspect an upper body injury to a player. Now, medical stops are very rare, And we see here just before the snap, the crew's going to shut the play down, and we get an announcement by our referee.
This is about on the field for a medical stoppage.
Now, good job with this announcement, not identifying the player. We don't want to do that. But you can see that the officials are sending number 4 out of the game. And as we go back and look at the tackle from the low end zone view, we see that number 4, he's wrapping to get the player down, and he gets a solid hit to the head, maybe from his own player. And after the play, number 4's response probably led to the medical observer stopping the game to get number 4 evaluated further. Most times, the bench will spot a potentially injured player and get them out for further evaluation. And we have a responsibility as well when we see a player, stop the clock and get them out of the game. But the medical observer is a solid backup for player safety. And one point of note, the CFP will utilize a neutral medical observer in all their games this year. Play 5 is 1st and 10. The offense is backed up, and the quarterback's going to toss to the back, and the ball is loose, and the defense is going to recover. Now, we're going to discuss the play, and then the referee announces that the ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass. And as we go back and take a look, we see that the quarterback, he releases the ball. It definitely goes forward and is first touched by the back beyond the release point, and then it hits the ground. So it is an incomplete legal forward pass. Now, we know that by rule, it doesn't matter how you throw it, overhand, underhand. It is a forward pass if the ball first strikes the ground, a player, an official, or anything else beyond the spot where the ball is released. So really good job by the crew to sort this out, and I'm sure replay was ready to come in if needed. Well done here. Play 6, we're late in the game. There's 7 seconds left. It's 4th down for the offense, and they're up by 3 points. Now, they want to burn the clock if they can as opposed to punting. So the quarterback comes out. He's going to take the snap, retreats, runs around. He gets out of the tackle box, and then he throws the ball high and deep to hopefully run the clock out. And the clock goes to 0, and it appears the game is over. Now, the crew immediately reacts, and they're going to keep everyone in place. The referee immediately announces that the previous play is under further review, so we do a great job of holding order on the field and let replay look at the clock. Now, since the quarterback's outside the tackle box, grounding here is not in play, but as replay looks, we can see that the actual superimposed clock shows that the ball goes down and bounces back up with 1 second remaining. So we're going to reset the game clock to 1 second, and since it was 4th down, the defense will send their offense out to run one play. But this is a really good job by the crew to take control immediately and keep order during the replay review. Well done. Play 7, we're late in the half. There's 2 seconds remaining, and the kicker hits a squib kick. And it's going to be recovered by the receivers at the 18-yard line. And the return man, he gets out to just across the 30-yard line, and the half comes to an end. Now, we get a flag down by our side judge, and we see him coming in, discussing the play, and then we're going to get an announcement from our referee.
Play today because they're killing themselves. Foul, blow to the head, number 13 on the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the second half kickoff. It's halftime.
Now, the side judge had a dead ball personal foul by number 13 of the kicking team here, and the timing of this foul is critical. And as we can see, it's clearly a correct call, and it's after the ball is dead, so the 15-yard penalty will carry over to the second half kickoff, and that's a big difference, and a very good job by the side judge to stay alert to the action and not only get his marker down, but also to know the timing here, which makes a significant difference in how the penalty is administered. Very good job. Our last play this week, the quarterback drops back. He hits his receiver, number 20, just outside the hash. Number 20 cuts across the field. He heads for the far side pylon. He dives at the goal line, and the ruling on the field by our field judge is going to be touchdown. Now, this is another tight pylon play, and replay is going to stop the game for review. And as we cycle through the replays, we see that the runner, he leaps from inbounds and lands out of bounds beyond the goal line. So we know that the runner Didn't touch in the end zone or the pylon, so he does not get goal line extended. So the ball must pass over or inside the pylon to be a touchdown. And from the views we get, it's clear and obvious that the ball is just inside the pylon and at worst over the pylon. So this is a touchdown, and replay can uphold the ruling on the field. One final note on the play. Our field judge is in perfect position at the goal line, and we can see one of our camera views comes from the handheld operator just by the official. Now, we know the network broadcast partners are allowed to be first at the limit line, but the camera person, he's going to go inside the official, and then the cord puller follows. The field judge must fight through to make his call and then tap dance over the cord. Now, this is excellent concentration by our field judge, but let's communicate as best we can with our camera guys and keep them back until well after the play. Well, that's it for our plays this week, and let's continue to work hard and grind as we get toward the end of our season. It's so important that we're ready to go every time we walk out on that field. We want quality fouls, nothing technical, make it be there, be great dead ball officials, and let's have crisp ball movement and keep our games moving. If you keep your game moving, you'll have less issues in your game. Great communications with our coaches, use your winning words, concentration, give everything you've got on every play, and always display your integrity, courage, and poise. Best of luck and keep hustling.